Hi, Lee. Welcome to the Lions Den.
Thanks for having me, mate.
How's it going, Lee?
All good, mate. All good. Just can't catch a break at the minute, but I can't really moan because 4 years ago, I'd have begged to be in this position and moaning about these things instead of moaning about not getting fights or opportunities. So comes with it, I guess.
Yeah, you're everywhere at the moment. We'll talk about that in a sec. I was listening to you today on TalkSport, and but you seem to be coming across really well in everything you do. Everyone's really lapping you up at the moment. I think especially going back to the fight and the way you acted after Conlan went through the ropes and stuff, and the kind of almost like dignity and integrity you showed there. I think it's coming, that sort of set you up really well, and now you're coming across great in interviews. So you're the man of the moment, pal.
It's been hard. Like when I first used to do interviews, I kind of struggled to get my personality across, especially when you've only got like a few minutes to try and come across as you are. Sometimes I get media head on, and I'm too on the fence. But recently, I think the more I do, the better I get. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I used to try and use words that I've never used before and get them all muddled up and wrong.
That's
where I used to go wrong. I just swear in that now. I just speak my mind.
Just imagine you talking to your friends. It's the best way to go, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. Brian was doing like words of the day and all that, getting his sort of like 6-year-old dictionary out and all that, and trying to get some words in there.
The thesaurus first and stuff. Like, just be yourself. The one everyone wants to do, really, don't they? So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we got to go back. I want to basically today just talk for a little bit through the fight. I know you've done it loads of times, but it was such an interesting fight for me. The best fight I've seen in years. Everything about it. So I want to try and get your perspective on it from the build up to through it to the end, and where you are now. So I want to go back to before the fight, going into the fight. Conlan obviously really fancied himself. It was a kind of a real 50-50. I had you as a favourite. I know Brian was saying that as well, but a lot of people going either way. How did you feel about the fight going into it? Did you expect as tough a fight as that?
I was confident in getting the job done. I knew that we would see him better than we've ever seen him. That was his world title fight. So we have to expect someone, look at their best fights, add another 10% on or even more because, they're coming for it. This is everything. And if they get beat, it's a long way back. So I knew what to expect. I didn't think he'd be able to suck them shots up as well as he did in the middle rounds, but he was tough. And Ben said to me throughout the whole camp, don't chase his head, invest in the body, and that's what got the job done, in my opinion, and breaking him down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you talk about those early rounds and he hits you with that left, and he kept getting success and stuff. Do you feel like it was it was maybe your biggest fight, biggest occasion, certainly with that arena, hometown, everything like that? Do you feel there was a little bit of the pressure was getting to you there? Was you not quite at your best?
Nothing to do with pressure. Even all the fight week, all the build up, I've never felt so confident. Like when that fight week started, after my training finished, I was like, I'm so calm. Even the no nerves, like even going to the arena, like I was at peace with myself because I knew I'd done everything I needed to do. My head was in a good place. I was thinking, I'm winning this fight no matter what. If I give 100%, it's not enough. I give 110. If that's not enough, I give 120. First round, I got caught cold with that shot. And in my head, I thought, I went down. I felt like it was happened, a flash knockdown. And I got straight back up, and I was so frustrated, thinking, that's a 10-8 round. I need to claw that back. I didn't think anything about getting hurt or not being able to carry on. And then after the fight, Barry said, that was a heavy knockdown. And I looked at him, I was like, what? He's like, yeah, heavy knockdown, that was, I was like, no, it's flash knockdown. He's like, no, your head bounced off the canvas. I was like, did it? Honestly, I didn't even know. But yeah, it was more frustrating at the time as it happened that I needed to claw that back, claw the 10-8 round back. But the game plan was always to break him down because he's inefficient. That's how he is. He slips a lot of shots and he's constantly moving. He don't like to lose any exchanges. And Adam Booth said that in a few interviews on the way, like, we're not going to give him anything. We're going to try and win every moment. But you can't do that in professional boxing over 12 rounds.
I was that close to looking like a complete twat with my mates. So I was like, this Leigh Wood, I'm telling you, he's too experienced. He's been there, done it. He's never been in that situation before. So confident. And when you went over in the first round, your legs had gone right. I thought, oh my God. So I was pissed. I was pissed with my mates. And I was telling him how great he was. And I was that close to looking a complete twat.
Pulled out the bag for you, then, huh?
He pulled it out of the bag, yeah.
And he still ended up making himself look like a twat anyway, so it was all right.
Yeah.
It was win-win.
They did a U-turn, then he had to do another U-turn.
I got to answer. I know I've heard you speak today to Simon and Jim and loads of other interviews, and you say you were never really worried. You know, you were never really thinking it was getting away from you. When he was having that sort of great success in the early rounds, can you honestly say there was never a part of you that was like, this is slipping away from me, I need to do something special, or I'm losing this fight? Or did you just stick to the game plan?
I said to my auntie, my mum, before the fight, I said, look, there's going to be moments early on in this fight which it may seem like he's running away with the fight. I didn't expect to get knocked down, but I knew them early rounds, he's going to be putting a lot of energy in. He might be running away with the fight. It's like in the first 4 or 5 rounds. But I said, listen, it's a 12-round fight. It's a long time. Just stay patient and keep watching the fight and try not to get worked up about what's happening early on, because I knew it's inefficient and it's a 12-round fight, and I'll break him down and he'll be working too hard. And if he wasn't working too hard, I'll be making him work too hard. He would have had to work too hard. There's no other way. I felt like with that shot, I lost the first 4 rounds of my game plan, but I still managed to get my job done the same way in 8 rounds.
Yeah, definitely. And how valuable was Ben to you? Because, you know, Ben's took a bit of criticism recently for a few things in the corner and stuff with the Josh Taylor scenario and everything like that. But I watching that, I saw a really great relationship there. It just seemed like he had a way of keeping you calm. Like when everyone else was a bit worried, he was never really worried. Or it didn't come across that he was.
He's amazing. Ben's literally amazing. Like, he's so ahead of his game. Like, I can't even explain. Like, he's just such a good coach. And that's a talent. That's a talent in itself. How he is. I come back from the first round. What happened? And I sat down. It felt to me like I could hear everything apart from what I needed to hear. It felt like I could hear the water being sprayed, thrown around. I could hear conversations in the crowd, like things, all these things I could hear it. And Ben was talking, then he went, okay. And I went, whoa, I went, say that again slowly. Yeah. And he went, stop parrying that backhand. Either change your height, pull back, or block it. I went, sweet. Then I went back out and then got caught with the same shot about 6 times. 6 times. But I think, you know, with everything that was going off, like, it was hard to make that change straight away because I was thinking about other things as well. I'm thinking about what I'm doing, thinking about ring positioning, thinking about pressing, hitting his body. But then a few rounds went by, and that probably did me a favour because the same shot that he put me down with, I took it the next round. I took it even a bigger shot than what he put me down with. I took it again, looked at him, took it again, looked at him, took it, and he probably thought, in his head, he's probably thought, I've hit him with that one, hit him with that one again, the fight's over. And I kept taking it, and that must have demoralised him.
Yeah, it was
you warmed into the fight and got used to his power. I've done it in fights myself when I've been caught cold, been wobbled, and then later on in the fight, they're hitting you the same shots. They just don't affect you the same. It's strange, isn't it? But I can definitely be caught cold too.
Yeah,
for sure. And well, not just cold as well. Like he did, in his credit, he sold me to the body. He sold me downstairs. He came upstairs and he caught me off guard. And even the last second of that shot, I kind of seen it coming, but then I thought, I'm too far away. And then he threw it and he straightened it. He hit me with a straight arm. I've never been hit like that in my life, so I didn't think it was going to hit me. But it clipped me in the right time, right place. Anyone's going to go. And I said that in the build-up. Look, in 8-ounce gloves, no one's indestructible. And I got caught with a shot, but it's not about taking the shot. It's about getting up and recovering from it and getting the job done after that. And
yeah, it's funny though, because what you say there is so true. As sitting at home watching it, it was like when he hit you with that shot, the next couple of rounds, I was thinking, oh, he's getting hit that all the time. He's in trouble here. But after sort of the third or fourth, it just became evident that he wasn't hurting you anymore with that shot. And I think straight away, I thought he's not winning this fight because he just looked like he couldn't stop you or he couldn't put you down again. And you were so resilient, kept coming forward. I've got to say, with not great, you didn't look like you were hurting him too much in the middle rounds, but it was almost like a moment in the 9th or 10th round where it just looked like he didn't want to be there. And he was starting to try and run away rather than coming forward. And it just looked like it was going to go your way somehow. But that determination for you was fantastic.
There was so many things, like my game plan from Ben. I could show you the scouting report, but I can't publicise the scouting report because we may need it again. The fight may happen if the fight's time, so I don't want to give too much away. But hitting his body was key because he's a lot of head movement. He likes to slip and roll every single shot, especially on the ropes. You don't really like to tie up. He likes to, sometimes he does, but mainly like to slip and try and get counters and move his head a million miles an hour. In amateur boxing, that's all fair and all good, but over 12 rounds, you can't waste that much energy. So there was the chasing the body, which round after round, you might not have seen in rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You may or may not, but if you go back and watch it, you'll see. I'm pushing him back to the ropes, to the body. There was the momentum of me not going backwards, pushing him back, because on his back foot is not as good as he is on his front foot. So all these things contributing over the distance is what won me the fight. And it looks like, wow, we came out for round 10, 11, 12, and it was like a swing in the tide. I made that swing in the tide by pushing him back throughout the whole fight, not letting him push me back, working his body, pushing him back to the ropes, and even the knockout as well. Tap, tap, tap downstairs, tap, tap, the last round when they were on the ropes, tap, tap, tap. Instead, when he went expecting the body shot, I brought it up.
But am I right by thinking, when I was watching the fight, I watched the highlights, you caught him with a shot just before and he back to the ropes, and it was like he was hurt from that first shot. Was I right by thinking that you hurt him with that first shot?
I did tackle him, I was
it was almost like his legs went from underneath him, weren't it?
But he was fucked. He was fucked.
Yeah.
Like, he went to that back to ropes and he's thinking, I'm getting caught more and more. I'm bollocks, because pushing him. That would have happened in round 9 or 10 if I'd not lost the first 4 rounds to my legs going myself. Do you know what I mean? So I had to kind of start from fresh. Do you know what I mean? But rounds 10, I think I caught him with a shot and I smiled and winked at Ben because I knew he was starting to feel the pace. I knew I thought round 12 even I came out and he holding me and I threw him off. I went to go in and to put some shots in. The referee went, whoa. He went, no pushing.
Yeah, I see that.
And I thought, this is comical, but he's going to run out of time anyway, but it is what it is. Like, it's pressure.
Was it one of them nights for you that you felt like you would have beat anyone at that weight, maybe weight above, like, because I've had nights like that where you just feel like you could be hit with anything and walk for anything.
Look, I'm like that every fight, and regardless of what's on the line, like, that fight was my biggest payday, and everyone was always going on about the money. Oh, you set after this, you set after this. I was like, listen, Divi, like, it's never about the money for me. Ever been about the money for me. Like, that could have been for 4 million, 5 million quid, whatever. It wouldn't have made one bit of difference because I'm so competitive and I want to win every fight I'm in. Regardless if it's Conlan or someone else, like, if I know the threats in front of me, then I'm going to work hard to win that fight. So the build-up for that, like, not the build-up, but the preparation for that fight with Ben was all solid, all the things he does around it. So that night I was confident I could get it done. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be not quite the style that's for me, but all the preparation around it, I did it and I went through it in the gym. I remember the spars when I was trying to practice things and I wasn't quite grasping it. And I come out and I went into the weights room and I got a corner on my own. I was sat there crying and Ben come in and he's like, what's up with you? I was like, look, I just want to win this fight so fucking bad. He's like, listen, you're doing everything you need to do and you're trying everything. You're trying your best to grasp it and you're getting it. Just give it time, give it patience. And that's how bad I wanted to win the fight. So yeah, regardless of who I was boxing, it's geared around them anyway. So I always want to win bad. But just because of that type of style is probably worse for me, but I still went in and got it done.
No, I love that. And I've got actually the crowd there, obviously, it was an amazing, amazing atmosphere and it's very partisan. Were you ever aware of the atmosphere changing the crowd? Because obviously earlier on, everyone was a little bit worried that it wasn't going your way. Was you aware of that? And did they really push you on?
Yeah, for sure. I think middle round 6 or 7, the Nottingham chants really gave me another gear.
Yeah.
And it was, I look back and some of the things Michael said on the build-up, like, oh, he's never boxed in front of this many people before, you know, he's going to finger under the pressure. Like, I can't see how anybody can buckle under that. That does nothing but lift me up. Even when I was walking out, like, I looked around and all the lights on the phones, the chant, like the Mulligan Tire, like, it was like a choir. It's like, I can't see how anyone can see that and been like, and been pushed down and not picked up. That just gave me another gear, and it was like so lifting, and it was just special, so special. And I'm just thankful.
I totally get that, because if you believe in your talent and you're clearly supremely talented and a great fighter, if you're good at anything, you want to do it in front of as many people as you can, especially people who are on your side. So I always, like, when people say, oh, they're frightened of the occasion, I think the occasion, if you believe in yourself, actually adds to it. And you certainly did, and you got it done. I want to jump forward to the 12th round. He goes through the ropes. Your reaction straight away, I think, as I say, conducted yourself with so much integrity, and I think people really commend you for that. What made you think he was hurt so badly? Was it the punch or the fall through the ropes?
So I landed the right hand, and then you've seen it's like the power plug had been pulled. Then the last few, they weren't big shots, just like because I knew he was on his way down, but like I just flicked a few, and then I turned to celebrate. I got him. I knew I was going to get him. It was later than I wanted to, but I got him, and then think it was Eddie said, "Look, lads, like, is hurt." And I was like, straight away, I was like, "Whoa!" And then because I thought in my head, the last time I seen him was when I landed the last shot. So I didn't see where he went. I didn't see how it was. And I said, "Look, he's on gas in here." And in my head, I thought, "Oh my God, like if there's a fatality, if he's not going to be all right, like I don't want to be celebrating. Because I don't want to look back on this and been celebrating. I want to make sure he's all right before I celebrate." So it wasn't until hours and hours later, like I think I was in the change room and I got told, like, "Look, he's up, he's talking, he says he's fine, but they're just going to do a brain scan for precaution." And even then, like there was drinks being opened and I was like, I couldn't really dance around. And then another hour after that, he said, "Look, his scan's all right, he's fine." But even then I felt like I needed to talk to him. I needed to see face to face that he's all right. They wanted the next morning when I spoke to him. So
yeah,
no one wants that. Everyone wants to go. Once I want to go home to the family is safe. Like I'm sure he would me as well. Like as much as there was a bit of a rivalry and a bit of spite, and like it's just a sport, isn't it? At the end of the day.
You can relate to that, Brian, can't you? I know you've had.
I mean, I don't know. It was years ago. I'm a lot older than you, Lee. But when I fought Jason Ruston for the Central Area title, he collapsed after the fight and he died. He actually died there and then, and you know he's brain damaged for life now and never fought again after that. And lost his wife, lost his family over it all. So I can totally relate. And I got knocked out in my next fight because of it all, because I just couldn't get over it. I'm a nice lad like you, and I just couldn't get my head around the fact that I'd done that to someone. And I went to see sports psychologists, and it got me over it. And I do realise now that it wasn't my fault. You know, we're all in there to do a job, and if how I see it is if I don't do it to them, they're going to do it to me. Otherwise, you're in the wrong sport if you're not going to hurt each other. But like you said, we want to hurt each other, but we don't want to seriously hurt each other. You know, I've got kids, and I'd be devastated if anything bad happened to me and I couldn't come home to my kids safe and sound.
Imagine like you couldn't be able to use wheelchair bound, not be able to talk or speak or like it's more for me. I think about all the people around you and myself, like my mom, like what they would have to go through. That's what I thought about his family as well. Like if I was there celebrating and then it turns out there's a tragedy, like I never be able to live with myself after that. So yeah, it's always good to me just to make sure everyone's all right before you start celebrating after a knockout anyway.
I mean, you know what? It's the two biggest things I think the most admirable about fighters, man and women who get in the ring. First of all, it's standing there in that ring in between those ropes, willing to give it all and have a tear up and putting everything on the line. And it shows you how fragile it is, because someone like Conlan, who was boxing superb, you know, he fought a great fight. Just like that, flick of the switch, he's on gas and air. That's what you put on the line every single time you go in the ring. And then you see the other side of it, and you see the respect shown between the two fighters after. And just think, for me, that's why it's the best sport in the world. And that was the best fight I've seen in a very long time. It'll be fight of the year. I'll go a long way to see a better one. I'll go out on a limb and say that. I just want to go past the fight now. Obviously, congratulations on it. Huge congratulations. Tell me what's been the best moment after the fight. Everyone wants a piece of you at the moment. I see the guy on the trains trying to give you first class. What's been the pinch me moment where you went, my God, this is special?
I don't really know, you know, because like I just try and keep grounded and keep my feet on the ground and like just keep my routine normal. And the best thing for me after the fight was just seeing my kids, because like I was so emotional after, because I went through so much on the build up and I sacrificed so much over the years, not just for the camp. And I didn't see my kids for weeks and weeks. And my friend brought them down for the day, and all I was thinking about is just spending time with my kids. There's been a few moments, like a few messages and like of people you think, wow. And my friends like tapping me like, "You just messaged you, just done this." It's like, it's all right, but like I just try and stay grounded and just focus on the things I normally focus on, because that's got me where I am. And I don't know, it's like you don't want to get distracted by all the other things, if it makes sense. I just try to keep my routine the same, my people around me the same. My routine isn't like do what I like doing, which is just spending time with my kids, walking my dog, like all these little things just keep you on the straight and narrow, if it makes sense.
Yeah. Little things that
I personally think you'll always stay grounded because of how hard you've had it. You know, no one's giving you on a plate. You've worked so hard to get to where you've got to. You've not become a superstar overnight. You've become a superstar with the people you fought in the past as well. Yeah, for sure. I've always thought you were talented. Always knew you were going to be a world champion. So yeah, I think you'll always stay grounded for that reason.
Yeah, for sure. And like fans as well, like we'd be no one, like we wouldn't be stars or we won't be at these big nights without the fans. So the fans make the fans make the superstars, because without them, we'd be in empty rooms, wouldn't we? So it's more like I tried to give back to the fans, but like sometimes my friends say like, you can't go in there anymore because you just get mobbed. Like I went to the Forest game on against Liverpool, and I was on the pitch before the game. I went to the bar, which is next door, and I went in. Like as I was walking up to it, everyone was singing my name and chanting, and I just want to go for a drink. But then after, like it was a bit too much. When I went in, like it was getting grabbed and photos and mobbed. But it's like I do like enjoy doing things like that, but like sometimes now I feel like I can't, but I still want to, but it's just too hard to do it.
I didn't know you got a crowd at a Forest game. You shot me there.
I think Forest has got one of the biggest attendances in the league.
I know. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm just bitter. You see, I'm bitter.
At the cup,
yeah.
At the minute, honestly, Forest are flying at the minute. And
they're doing great.
I'm surprised if we don't go up. Honestly, really well. You watched the Liverpool game as well, very competitive, and no one thought it would ever.
Yeah, I mean, I'll compare it to when Blackpool in the Premiership at one point, right? And I was winning a British title, and I owned it outright, defended it 3 times in 1 year, and it was at that moment Blackpool in the Prem, and I just rolled on the back of that, and it was the best. I was getting presented on the pitch, getting mobbed, and that's why when you say you're getting mobbed, honestly, cherish it, because I don't get mobbed no more, and I'm fucking devastated. Do you know what I mean? Just love every moment.
When you got it, you just want to break. When you ain't got it, you probably think, I like that.
Yeah.
Lee, I want to finish. Thank you so much for giving us your time, mate. As I say, you're a man in demand, and there's nothing more to show that than people like Josh Warrington now calling you out, using your name and your bit of success and stuff. If you had 3 fights left now, your dream fights, who would they be? Tell me the 3 dream fights for Leigh Wood.
Navarrete, because he's number 1. So, and I think that would be a brilliant style clash as well. He's a big puncher, long and ranger, big, great fight. So he's number 1. So that'll be my first pick. The Warrington fight would be a massive fight for the British fans. I'd love that fight, and that could possibly happen next. And also Lewis Santa Cruz, just because like the WBA situation, like it just does my head in. But I'd like to set that straight, and I think that's another fight I can win. Obviously, the rematch in a few fights' time as well. Yeah,
mate. I wish you all the very best, pal. Like tremendous performances. Last few performances. I know you've come to the forefront on this one, but I feel like even at 33, you're there now. You're in the prime of your career, and you've got a few big fights in front of you.
I can't wait to be involved in some bigger nights. And my friend said, the Zukam fight, this is never going to get topped. Just enjoy it. A lot of my friends like that could be my biggest night. That could have like been my pinnacle. And I was like, lads, like there's going to be some bigger nights to come. Yeah. And then this fight come up, and then I was like, look, we're going to look back on this. The first time I proper headlined the arena, first big night, which pushed me to bigger nights. And we're all thinking, after this fight, as well, they were the same thing, like, oh, this was the best one. I just enjoy this one because this was a special one. But I'm like, listen, there's going to be bigger nights, and I can't wait to be involved in them.
Mate, 100%. We can't wait to see you involved in them. Thanks for coming on today, pal.
Congratulations, man. Well done. You honestly, brilliant. Yeah, congratulations, and good luck whatever you get next, pal.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
See you later, mate. Bye-bye.